Good evening. I'm Carla Beard, and welcome to TV3 News Journal. The 160 Truck Driving Academy, a project with Ivy Tech, had its ribbon-cutting ceremony on February 17th. Reporter Sabrina Gavin covered it.
We're good. We have a number of our employer partners who are looking for high-quality trained drivers in the Richmond and Connersville area, and Ivy Tech presented this opportunity to partner with them, and it made all the sense in the world to put one of our schools here. The program is 4 weeks, 160 hours, which is how the company got its name, and our students complete that, and then they test for their commercial driver's license with the Indiana Bureau of Motor Vehicles. First 40 hours are in the classroom, and the 120 hours after that are behind the wheel. Students are going down the road, students are driving on the highways as they learn to get proficient before they go and test. Yeah, so we plan on probably generating at least 200 jobs into the trucking industry. Our Connersville school here is our 6th school in the state of Indiana, and we have, this is our 115th school nationwide. Only 10% of our students are going to probably pay with cash. Students can use a workforce investment voucher and come here for the school through the state of Indiana. And then we have a number of our employer partners who will underwrite the tuition for our students. So there's no cost to the student. The employer will pay for school, and then the student is guaranteed a job when they graduate. And we'll train about 50% of our entire student population will take advantage of one of our employer sponsorships.
The CHS Bowling team completed their season this year by competing at state. We stopped by Plaza Lanes to talk with the team and their coaches.
Taking a glance at watching the guys practice and things like that, and we both knew right off the bat we had an amazing team and we were going to go far. In fact, I believe the words were we have a state team. So we already knew it was going there, and that's where it's been every year.
Even though we didn't make it through state, just getting to be in that moment again with all these guys and not knowing if we're going to make it, but just being on that line, it's a different feeling that you can't really describe.
They're like family to me, and it was just a fun experience with them.
We got 2 regionals, but we fell short a couple years ago. We've won sectionals. I think this is the first time in school history that we won regionals as a bowling team, so that's what makes it cool. If you think about joining the bowling team, definitely do it, because it's not like a team, it's almost like family.
If you come with absolutely no experience at all, having never thrown a ball, we would love to have anybody, girls, boys alike.
The coaches are some of the best I could think of. I couldn't think of any other coaches in the state that are better, and they really make it fun. It's not required to do anything, and they teach you, but in a fun way that's not demanding.
I say come on, sign up. Don't be scared to win. That's about it.
Because so few schools have teams, bowling is not an IHSAA-sanctioned sport. It's classified as a club at CHS and receives no financial support from the school like the soccer or basketball teams. Bowlers spend their own money for practice time and equipment. If you'd like to support them, contact the bookkeeper at Connersville High School. Have you given any thought to a new family pet? Our next report comes from Sabrina Gavin, who visited the Lafayette County Animal Shelter.
Well, either you can come up at our regular hours, usually from 8 to 6:30. Our address is 1703 Michigan Avenue, and our phone number is 765-825-8693. Look at our dogs, and if you're interested in one, we take them. We can get them out and let you go over to the dog park and play. And if you like him, you can take him home for like a 3-day trial. And if it works out, then you can come back up and you pay. That includes getting them spayed and neutered and the rabies shot. And the dogs gets a stemper and parvo shot, so that's included.
The Fayette County Foundation held a meetup for local nonprofit organizations on Tuesday, February 22nd. We spoke with Morgan Hamilton, Director of Community Impact, about the event.
This meeting was just for us to get all of the nonprofit organizations in Fayette County together to bounce ideas, issues, everything off of each other, for them to become more of a resource for each other to work together, and for us as a foundation to become a resource for them in the future. Some of the insights were that bringing in some speakers on possible topics would maybe be a great idea, such as marketing, fundraising efforts, member engagement, all of those types of things. We had a good group of people. There was more than I had anticipated. We were a little bit worried about the time of day. We didn't know exactly what time, but I think it worked out for the best for everybody. We're just very thankful for the nonprofit leaders and members that took the time out of their day to connect with others.
Purdue University's Extension Nutrition Education program helps low-income Hoosiers make the healthiest choices with their food dollars. Here in Fayette County, we have Kelly Isaacs and Becky Marvel, who told us more about the program.
Hi, I'm Becky Marvel, and I'm the Community Wellness Coordinator for the Purdue Extension Nutrition Education Program here in Fayette County.
And I'm Kelly Isaacs, and I'm a Nutrition Education Program Advisor, along with Carrie Pfeiffer, who isn't with us today, but also wanted to acknowledge her services. I cover Fayette County adults and Union County children and adults, and Carrie covers the children in Fayette County and Franklin County adult and children.
The Nutrition Education Program has been in effect for over 30 years. It's a program that is through a grant through the USDA, which Purdue University is the holder of that grant. And so it's created the Nutrition Education Program, which is really to help low-income Hoosiers who are on SNAP and helping them to make the healthy choice, the easy choice through what I'm doing, environmental policy and services, as well as Kelly is providing education to help families stretch their food dollar.
For instance, I reached out to the Pattern Mill building and was able to connect with a group of fabulous ladies, and we met once a week, and I provided a food demonstration, and they were able to sample exactly the recipes that we were promoting, and also did a physical activity, and we talked about nutrition facts, of course, and it was just a great collaboration with that building, and getting to know that building in our community, because I think it's a really great kept secret over there. They were the ones who initially, when they signed up for it, I was able to go with Katrina Bailey as far as getting my flyers out there. They signed up for the classes that we were offering certain dates, and as an incentive, Reed has given us some money to be able to purchase some incentives so that we could entice people into getting into our classes. So we offered crock pots, electric skillets, a smoothie bullet style blender, an electric chopper. You take 4 classes for 30 minutes, and we can spread those out. We come to you, you can come to us. There's a variety of ways to do it. And these ladies were so happy. They all received crock pots because they all completed the classes, and actually even extended out to take 2 extra classes that were just bonuses. So yeah, it was really wonderful meeting that demographics in our community.
As a community wellness coordinator, my job is to create an environment where SNAP participants can have access to healthy food. For an example, if you want people to eat healthy local food, so if you don't have a farmer's market for them to go, that's an environmental change. So we helped create a farmer's market downtown. So the next step was, how do people get their SNAP dollars to go farther? So we were able to partner with Reed Health, and they give us a donation each year to double up your SNAP. So that is a win-win for everyone. It's a win-win for the farmers to help get their produce, and it's a win-win for our low-income citizens to have access to healthy local food. Because as a community wellness coordinator, I'm concerned about everyone's health. We are, in fact, Fayette County 91 out of 92 for poorest health. And so that really affects our community economically. So we do need to care about our neighbors' health. We do need to care about, do we have green space? And so I know as a community wellness coordinator, we're working with the 2nd Street Park, and creating that wonderful green space for everyone in the community to have access to active life. And that's what NEP is about, is promoting nutrition, physical activity, food insecurity, food management, how we can develop our community into the best healthy community that we can. And so as Kelly and Carrie provide the new education part, which is so important, because if I can get everyone to get eggplants but they don't know what to do with it, then we failed. And so this NEP is such a complete program. It encompasses the whole spectrum of how to incorporate a healthy lifestyle.
So on Facebook, we are at Fayette County Facebook Purdue Extension Nutrition Education Program, and our website is eatgathergo.org. You can also call our local office at the Extension office at 765-825-5208, and they will certainly get you in contact with us, and we'll be happy to talk.
For more information, that website is eatgathergo.org. February 28 is Rare Diseases Day, an international effort to raise awareness and support for people who have uncommon diseases and disorders. Sunny Ammerman is the Indiana ambassador for NORD, the National Organization for Rare Disorders.
My name is Sunny Ammerman, and I am the Indiana State Ambassador for NORD's Rare Action Network. NORD is short for the National Organization for Rare Disorders, and they're a rare disease advocacy group who helps to raise awareness for and build support for patients and families of those living with rare diseases. It can be very difficult for somebody with a rare disease to get the correct diagnosis. On average, it can take 5 to 10 years for somebody who has a rare disease to get a diagnosis, which leads me to the whole zebra motif. So the zebra is the official mascot for rare diseases because of an old adage taught to medical students where they're told if you hear hoofbeats, think horses, not zebras, which encourages them to look for the most common diagnosis, which makes sense for most people. But if you do tend to have a more, rare diagnosis, it can take a lot longer for that doctor to find that correct diagnosis and get you connected with the treatments that you need because of how rare it is. Rare Disease Day is on the last day of February every year. So the National Organization for Rare Disorders is going to be hosting their live event at 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. You can find all of that information on their Facebook page, Twitter, on their website at rarediseases.org. And they're going to be talking about all of the great things that they have in store, especially with the Rare Action Network, which is the program that I've been volunteering under as Indiana State Ambassador for a while, which, by the way, I'm stepping down from that position at the end of this month, and they are looking for volunteers. So if you're interested in advocating for rare diseases yourself and getting involved, please go to rareaction.org, go to the Get Started tab at the top of the page, and click on the State Ambassador Program. You can learn all about it and apply from there. They are amazing people to work with. When I took on this role, I knew that I might have some health issues, but I wanted to try anyway, and it did turn out to be a little bit more than I could handle, so that's why I'm stepping down. But they are so understanding. They never once made me feel guilty about that. And when I told them that I had to resign, I got nothing but love and support in return. And it's just, I can't support them enough. They're a fantastic group to volunteer for, and I highly encourage anyone who's interested to reach out.
For more information online, go to rarediseases.org. Thank you for joining us. And as always, here's Brad Coulter looking back at the Fayette County Canal House.
Hi, I'm Brad Coulter, and this is Looking Back. Historic Connersville is born of one man's dream. In early April 1962, Bob Price sent a letter to interested and active local Connersville historians titled, "I Have a Dream." I assumed he borrowed the famous Martin Luther King civil rights speech title until I looked up the date that speech was given, and it was over 1 year later in 1963. Bob Price's dream was to purchase the Canal House and have a local historic organization to oversee it, modeled after a Madison, Indiana group that he had visited. Bob explained in his letter that he had long been interested in history and would have liked at one time to have become a history teacher. This letter led to discussions and planning, but with the local sesquicentennial in 1963, it was another couple years before real progress was made. In September 1964, a meeting was held at the local Y to discuss the possible purchase of the Canal House. On September 23, 1964, 18 people agreed to form Historic Connersville Incorporated and to purchase the Canal House from the VFW, who had their local headquarters at that location for a number of years. Over the next year, HCI became official, and by November 1965, fundraising had begun for the Canal House purchase. Once incorporated, the original board was named with Price, Dr. D.L. McDaniel, Robert Gordon, John H. Miller, Henry Blummel, and Candace Murray all serving. Bob Price was born on October 21, 1929 in Alquina and graduated there in 1947. Soon after, he began his career at Central State Bank, where he started as a bookkeeper. He served a 2-year stint in the U.S. Army, and when he returned, began his ascent to a vice president, and finally, in 1971, became president CEO of the bank and its insurance and travel divisions. Bob was a prominent member of the Lions Club, Warren Lodge, and was president of United Way, Chamber of Commerce, and helped begin the Fayette County Foundation. Bob was married to his wife Nancy for 53 years, and he has 2 sons, David and Darren. Following his father's interest in history, Darren is a member of the local Historic Preservation Commission. After the purchase of the Canal House was arranged for a price of $25,000, a goal of $58,000 was set to be raised for the renovation and the restoration. The lot just west of Canal House and site of the former Palace Hotel was also purchased. It was to be several years before the Canal House was finished and ready to be open in 1971. Lots of hands-on work by Bob Gray and others was required to get the house back to a more original condition. The Hose House on West 7th Street was used as headquarters until the Canal House was ready to be used. 53 years have passed since Bob Price's dream came to fruition as Historic Connersville Incorporated. Great assets have been accumulated over these 53 years. The new museum on West 5th Street is full of many rare automobiles and lots of beautiful exhibits. The dream of one man has served Connersville well and will continue to for many years to come.